What's happening, you guys? This is your host, Coach Joel, and this is the Ikon Fitness Podcast. If you're joining on the Ikon Blueprint Facebook page live right now, welcome. Super pumped about getting into today's show. It is the last day of 2020. We know how hard 2020 has been for all of us. This is nothing to joke about. This has been an incredibly hard year for a lot of us, if not all of us. But today we're going to move forward. We can see the past and we don't want to get stuck in the past. Being stuck in the past is where depression lies. Right? If we're constantly thinking of the past, this is where we'll get into a very dark gray area. On the opposite side, if we get too worried about the future without a direction, this is where anxiety resides. This is where we get really nervous and our hands get palmy and sweaty and we can't sleep at night because we're thinking of the future. So it's very important to kind of know the difference between those two. Now, when we have a structured future, we know what our true north is, we know our values and the actions that we're going to take to be in congruency with those values towards a true north, aka a goal, a vision, way you want to live, then anxiety kind of melts to the side because we have a reason and actions to be able to achieve or get to that true north. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to go step by step to getting to your goals. Step by step. If you follow this, if you're on right now and you follow this, I guarantee that you will pull yourself out of the misery of 2020 and you will go into 2021 and accomplish exactly what you set out to do. This is not just oh, rah, shish kumbah, here's 2021, guys, and let's set some, reasonable resolutions, right? No, that's not what this is about. This is why so many people fail. Only 8% people keep their resolutions, is because they have no structure to it. They have no idea actually how to get there. That's what we're going to do today. So if you're with me, or if you're listening to this on the podcast, what I need from you is I need you to pull out a pen and paper, because this is about to get active. This is the secret sauce that I take my clients through where we get massive success. Okay, I was contemplating whether I should even put out all the secrets on how we get there. But you know what? Everybody needs this right now. And if you're listening and you have a pen and you have a piece of paper, we're about to dive into something that is going to change your life for 2021. I absolutely guarantee it, okay? So let's dive into this. We got a couple different parts that we're going to dive into. We're going to set up our mindset. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at our limiting factors, and then we're going to create an outcome and how we're going to show up with the appropriate actions that we can take. Then I'm going to show you how you're going to take those actions immediately by the time that this show is over. So by the time that this show is over, you're going to be already towards your 2021 goals. Okay? See the difference? This isn't just, let's set some resolutions. Nope. Not today. Not today. We're going to actually take action on our resolutions right now, on 2021 right now. So let's dive into it. The very first thing in accomplishing goals in 2021 is that you have to have the mindset that life doesn't change, you do. Okay? Life doesn't change, you do. And a lot of us got stuck in this outside circle. The outside circle is the stuff we can't touch. The inside circle is the stuff we can touch. That's how we react. That's how we put on a different lens. That's how we take steps towards our goals. So the very first part is to make sure you have the mindset that life doesn't change, you do. Because if you're going into 2021 right now and you're thinking, 2021, it's going to be so much better in 2021, that's going to be a rude awakening for you. Okay? This virus is still going to be around. There is still going to be political tension every which way you look. The outside factors are not going to change in 2021. But you can. You can change in 2021. And so making sure that you have the right mindset and are able to step into 2021 knowing that you're in control and that the outside factors have actually very little control over you. Okay? You need to stop waiting for the perfect pitch. This is another reason why people don't meet their resolutions. You got to stop waiting for the perfect pitch. Just swing the freaking bat. Just swing it. Because if you're sitting there waiting for the perfect pitch, you're going to strike out time and time and time and time and time again. Every once in a while, maybe you get a walk. Nothing exciting about that. We're trying to hit home runs in 2021. And guess what? You're going to swing and you're going to miss, but you're going to step right back in that batter's box. You have to be able to swing. Stop waiting for the perfect pitch. And the last piece when it comes to our mindset, when it comes to making sure we're in the right place to succeed, is that this year I want you to celebrate the effort instead of the outcome. Hear it again. I want you to celebrate the effort instead of the outcome. This is where we get stuck because we end up saying, ooh, I want to lose 30 pounds, right? And you get to 25 or 20 or 5. And you go, I didn't make it. I didn't make my outcome. So what are you connecting? What you're connecting is that I'm a failure, not success. Not that you got up and you went to the gym. Man, that's awesome. Great effort. Not that you decided to have vegetables, right, instead of bread. Celebrate the effort. When we start celebrating the effort towards reaching our vision, our goals, the person who we want to be, you start treating yourself much more kindly. And we're too hard on ourselves because that's what our society tells us. If you're not a winner, you're a loser. If you don't got it, you just don't got it. And what it does to us is we see the perpetual cycle, right? Some people might be out there like, oh, that's the wrong attitude. You need to be a win, 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 win. Well, sorry, right? Percentages back me on this. If 188 million people set out for resolutions and only 8% of them actually get their resolution, there's something wrong with up here. So as soon as you switch that, hey, I'm in this and I'm putting in the effort to it, you start building momentum to be able to get to the outcome. So celebrate the effort instead of the outcome this year. You'll get to it. I promise you. If you celebrate the effort, sooner or later, it might be next November or December, you drop that 25 pounds, you start that new job, you get that husband, you get that wife, you change your attitudes toward yourself, right? You start living a happier life. That will happen, but only if you celebrate the effort first and create the right neurological loop that I'm going in a good direction. I got momentum. I'm doing this. Okay? That's the mindset. So now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty. This is where you're going to need your pen and paper. First part in being able to establish your goals is first to acknowledge the conflict. This is something that my good friend Sabrina Blejos said on a podcast a month ago, and it has stuck with me ever since. You have to know what's not going right before you can go in the right direction. Okay? So we are going to acknowledge the conflict here. We're going to take a look at this, and I'm going to ask you a question right now, and you can answer to yourself, right? If you want to, if you're on the Blueprint Facebook page, you can throw it up there, and I will see the messages, okay? Maybe. Oh, there it is. There it is. Are you living your best life right now? Are you living your best life right now? Yes or no? There's no maybes. It's simply yes or no. The most amazing life, the job that you wanted, with the wife and the husband that you wanted, with the family that you love, all of it, everything, perfect. The way you want it. Are you living your best life right now? Yes or no? Write that down. If you're with me and you have a pen or paper, write it down right now. Here's the next thing we're going to do. We're going to find out what your limiting factors are. So I want you to write down in a sentence, what are the limiting factors that are keeping me from living my best life right now? Question mark, put it down. What are the limiting factors that are keeping me from living my best life right now? Question mark. Then what I want you to do, if you're listening right now on the podcast, I want you to pause after I tell you what we're going to do. I want you to set a clock for 3 to 5 minutes, and I want you to brainstorm on all of the limiting factors that are keeping you from that perfect, beautiful life. Is it because you don't have enough money? Is it because your car's broken down? Is it because you fight with your husband or wife? Is it that you have a bad boss? Is it that because you don't believe in yourself? Is it because you're 20 pounds overweight? Is it because you feel too weak? Is it because whatever it is, write it down. Anything and everything, write it down. We have to acknowledge the conflict first, and nobody's going to see this, right? Unless you start working with me, and then we're going to dive into it. But nobody's going to see this. Start writing it down. Everything. So if you're listening on the podcast right now, I want you to pause. I want you to take the next 3 to 5 minutes, set it at least for 3 minutes. I want you to write down, what are all the limiting factors? What are all the limiting factors? Okay. If you're coming back on the podcast, welcome back. You should have a list now of all your limiting factors. So what are we going to do with this, right? We've acknowledged the conflict. Now we need to create the scoreboard. How can we possibly change something if we don't create the scoreboard? What actually is the points or the score that we're going to get when we start correcting those limiting factors? So if we don't say the opposite of those limiting factors, we don't say, hey, if I'm 20 pounds overweight, right, I got to create the scoreboard here. I got to go, I vision myself 20 pounds lighter. Oh, is that what it looks like? Or maybe it's, hey, I want to be fit. I want to be able to hike up Mount Rose without stopping. I want to be able to run up Mount Rose, right? I want to be able to swim a mile. Now we're creating a scoreboard. Now we know what it looks like. What is that we're actually trying to get? We want to be able to paint the outcome. And this isn't just saying like, oh, yeah, I'm 20 pounds. I want to lose 20 pounds. When we're painting the outcome, I want you to paint exactly the way you look, right? The way that you see this outcome, you going through and getting to the very end. What does your goal look like? Now you can take a couple of your limiting factors, or you can just nail one. We're like, man, I just feel like that is the one that's cutting me short. That is the one that is just on my heart that I want to change. Good, pick that one. Don't get overworked on this. You can always come back to it. But what I want you to do is I want you to write the outcome. What is the outcome that you want? And be descriptive. Again, don't just say, I want to lose 20 pounds. What does it look like? I want to be able to fit. I want to change my entire wardrobe. I want people to be able to say to me, whoa, you've lost a ton of weight. Write down all of the outcomes that you would want, right? My back doesn't hurt anymore because I lost weight, right? Or I'm happier, right? I want to get over my anxiety and depression. This is my outcome. I wake up every single day. I'm happy, right? I'm joyful. I can't wait to see my friends. I'm active. I'm back to being able to hang out with my friends again without feeling sad. Write the outcome. That doesn't mean that it's what you have right now. Obviously, it's a limiting factor. But I want you to take 3 to 5 minutes now to write your outcome. This should be in a paragraph form that you're going to write what your outcome is going to be. What does it look like? Be very visual here. What does it look like? I want you to pause if you're on the podcast right now, and I want you to go do this. Do it right now. All right. Now we've created the scoreboard. We know what is the outcome that we want, what we're trying to change, what is going to move us towards the eventual vision, our true north. Now we have to look at the actions. We have to be able to change the direction to change our destination. Okay? Again, we have to change our direction to change our destination. If you've ever shined a light, say like on a wall, maybe just from here to there, well, you guys can't see me, from like a foot or 2 feet away, and you just rotate to the left. Maybe that light beam, right, the spot on the wall moves 6 inches. But if all of a sudden you shine that light across the street and you move it the same little bit, right, just a teeny little bit direction, where's the destination of that beam? Oh, it's way farther. It's not a couple inches, it's feet. It moves feet. And so recognizing that we have to be able to change our direction, and even though we might not see it at first, if we hold that and those barriers start dropping, each barrier that drops, all of a sudden that direction changes the destination massively, right? All of a sudden, change it by a mile, that beam is now thousands of feet off, changing direction, okay? So now we have to look at it and go, all right, I see the outcome. I see who I'm going to be. How now are you going to show up? How are you going to show up in your day to day? What is that going to look like? What is it going to feel like? When the challenges come up, and they will, what is it going to look like when you hit that challenge? What's it going to look like? How are you going to show up? So when you all of a sudden know, oh man, I get sugar tooth bad. How are you going to show up when you get that sugar tooth? See, we're already looking ahead and we're seeing how I'm going to show up. I'm already visualizing and painting the person that I'm going to be when those challenges come up. Because guess what? Again, 8% of people, only 8% of 188 million people, right? Only 8%, that's not a very big percentage. They don't get by. You know what they do? They envision. They become that person. They paint that future. They know their outcome. And then they go, how am I going to show up each day? I'm going to show up like a person who steps in to challenges, not runs away from them. I'm going to show up with love and compassion. I'm going to show up with determination and grit. That's how I'm going to show up. That's how you're going to see me. 2021, that's how I'm going to show up when those challenges come. That's where I'm going to be. So again, I want you to take 3 to 5 minutes. And I want you now to paint how you're going to feel when those challenges come up. How are you going to show up? What kind of person are you going to be? Are you going to see yourself as the timid, failing type? Or are you going to see yourself as the courageous, bold type? No. Get straight here, guys. Get straight. You're going to show up as the bold, courageous. Okay? You're going to be a king. You're going to be a queen. You're going to step into the fire. You're going to be forged. You're not going to be afraid. That's how I want you to write to yourself right now. I'm going to show up as, and start writing it down. I'm going to show up as a person who is determined and has grit And when the challenges come of me wanting to sit at home, I will rise above them because I am greater than my challenges. So take 3 to 5 minutes right now, and I want you to write some strong affirmations of how you're going to show up when those challenges come. I want you to do that right now. Okay, so now we have gone through it. Not only did we acknowledge the conflict. Hey, this is what I don't like, right? This is the limiting factors of my life, right? If I could make another $10,000, if I had a different job, if whatever it was, whatever you felt your limiting factor is, now we picked that one limiting factor. We said, you know what the outcome's going to be? If I hate my job, my outcome's going to be loving my job. I'm going to love my job. I paint this perfect picture of me just being excited, jumping out of bed and just ready to get to it. Then we said, how are we going to show up? Because we can look at the outcome, but then when it comes to our day-to-day, how are you going to show up? You know what? I'm going to show up with integrity and strength into my current job so that I show up the same way when I get my dream job. Now all of a sudden your job you hate, it's not so bad anymore because you control it. You're stepping in, you're creating your legacy, even in a position that is not preferable. So now what we have to do is we have to get action. This is where everybody gets caught up. This is just the bummer part. Everybody gets motivated. I'm ready to go. Movement over motivation, guys. Movement, I'm putting it this way because we're on Instagram. Movement over motivation. Too often, we're waiting for the right pitch. Just swing the freaking bat. Okay? A single's better than nothing. Okay? A bunt is better than nothing. And sooner or later, you're going to knock it out of the park. Movement over motivations. So now we're going to look at it and go, what are the actions that I'm willing to take right now? These are my limiting factors. I don't like my job. What are the actions that you're going to take right now? I'm going to start getting my resume together. I'm going to start networking with people that I want to work with in the job that I want to work with. Doesn't mean I'm not going to be able to get the job right away, but I'm going to start networking with them. I'm going to start getting to know them. I'm going to start heading in that direction. What are the actions that you can take right now towards that outcome? We have the vision. We know the outcome. We know how we're going to show up. Now, what are the actions that we're going to take? Actionably, what are you going to do? So what I want you to do is I want you to take 60 seconds. If you need more time, take more time. But I want you to write down anything that you can start taking steps towards, right? I gave you the example of finding a new job, right? I'm going to get my resume. I'm going to talk to my friend to ask them if they can look over my resume. I'm going to get on Indeed.com and start my profile. I'm going to go get some professional photos taken so I can have a professional appearance. I'm going to go get a new suit and tie. I'm going to start networking with people who are in the same field as me. I'm going to start researching and reading the books. I'm going to go on to Instagram or Facebook and start searching other people that are doing the same thing. I'm going to start doing it. So I want you to take the next 60 seconds or more, and I want you to start writing down those actions. I want you to start writing down those actions. Go do it right now. Okay, now we're back. We're back. You've now written down your actions. Now you know, now this is rubber meets the road. This is what I want you to do. I want you to go back, and I want you to find an action that you can do in the next 24 hours. And I want you to put a 1 next to it, AKA 1 day. Then I want you to go find another one, and I want you to put a 3 next to it. In 3 days, you need to accomplish that. And then lastly, I want you to put a 7 at 1 week. In 1 week, I'm going to do that. And you can continue with this 2 weeks, then 4 weeks, so that you have bigger gaps to accomplish the bigger things, right? Being able to network, that's going to take time. You're not going to be able to do that in 24 hours, right? You might be able to start following people, but you're not going to be able to actually get to networking where you're rubbing elbows with people in 24 hours. It's not going to happen. But being able to sign up for Indeed.com, you can do that 24 hours, no problem. You can start following people that you want to be in the same job or same career as them 24 hours or 3 days or 7 days. So now I want you to write a 1, 3, or 7 next to one of those actions. A 1 next to one action, a 3 next to another, and a 7. You'll have the rest, and that's your ammo. That's your ammo that you come back to go, cool, what's the next action? What's the next action? Because you have to have movement over motivation. You got to swing the bat. You can't wait for the perfect pitch, or it's just not going to happen. You're going to sit and think about the future, and then we know what happens when we're thinking about the future and we have no direction. That's where you're going to get anxiety. The next part, and this is very crucial, you guys. Now we have all this set up. We have actions, we have outcomes, we have a vision, we know what we're going to do, right? You've written it down. Now you have to structure it. This is how you win. Ready? Write this down. Structure, discipline, consistency. Structure, discipline, consistency. This is how you win. Before anything, you have to structure, meaning you have to put it into your calendar. You have to set time aside. You have to know when you're going to get it done. All of us can say, oh, I'm going to work out. Or yeah, I'm going to take care of that project. But until you put a deadline on it, right, for yourself, not from somebody else, not because your boss said get it to me on the 25th, and you wait until the 24th and turn in some garbage because you're doing it in 24 hours and feeling stressed out, and then your wife or husband get upset with you because you're not at home and you're stressed out, and you come home and you act like a big jerk when you do get home because you're stressed out, and you try to blame it on your family, right, or your husband or your wife, why you're so stressed out. No, you're not stressed out because you didn't structure it. Because you didn't look at it and go, how long is that project going to take? It's probably going to take 20 hours. All right, when are you going to work on it? You have 25 days. Okay, 20 hours, all right, so I got to work 5 hours a week. I'm going to do 3 hours on Monday. I'm going to do another 2.5 hours on Thursday. I'm going to block out that time. I'm going to do it from 11 to 1, 11 to 12:30. It's in your calendar now. Somebody tries to come by and say, oh, let's go get lunch. Sorry, it's in my calendar. You have to structure it first, guys. If you don't have that structure, it ain't going to work. Period. You can have all the motivation in the world. If you don't structure it, it's not going to work. Next is the discipline. It's going to get hard. You're going to be tired. You're not going to want to wake up. You're going to strike out. You're going to swing the bat and totally whiff. Are you going to step back into the batter's box? Are you going to get out of bed when you're tired? Are you going to get rejected 10 different times and trying to join a private group? You going to stop there? Got to have the discipline. Got to be able to say no instead of yes. No, sorry guys, I can't come out tonight. I already have plans. No, I'm not going to be able to do lunch. I'm working on my project. No, guys, I'm not going to go to Bowley's. There's nothing to eat healthy there. And I'm losing 20 pounds. Right? Got to be able to say no. And then the last part is consistency. When you start a goal, you have to know when's the end. I was just talking to a client the other day, and they were talking about, I'm ready to do, in February, I usually do 30 days, no alcohol, no sugars, work out every single day, This year, I'm going to do January. I'm going to do January and February. Well, his goal was to have long-term health, but he's trying to cram everything down in 60 days. So what happens after those 60 days or 30 days? We go back to the foundation that we started off in. Now there's a time for 30-day challenges. And then there is time to go, I want this to last a lifetime. I want to love my wife passionately for the rest of my life. What's the small step I can do every single day to show her love? I don't have to take her on this crazy trip, but you know what I can do? I can make sure her tea's hot in the morning. I can make sure that when I come in, I give her a kiss. Doesn't take a ton of effort, but you do it every single day, and your wife is going to love you. Structure, discipline, consistency. Structure, discipline, consistency. Now you're going to take that action and you're going to decide, how long do I want this? Is this full 2021? Is this more of a theme than it is a specific goal? I want to have fun. That was another client that told me today, 2021 is going to be about fun. Awesome. What are the actions you're going to take for it? And it's going to be year long, right? It's going to be, hey, I'm going to get off work 30 minutes early. I'm going to go throw a Frisbee and have fun. I'm going to play basketball more. I'm going to have more fun. Know the consistency, what you're shooting for. Then make sure whatever you need to do to keep yourself pumped up with discipline, and you're going to be able to hit those goals because you're putting it into your calendar. So this is what I want you to do. If you've been following and you've taken this seriously and you've written everything down and you've followed me to a T, what I want you to do is I want you to pause once again. You're going to take those actions, the 1, 3, and 7 that you just did, you're going to put in your calendar right now. Right now. You're going to pause and you're going to put it in your calendar, because if you don't do it right now, you'll find an excuse why not to do it. Movement over motivation. You don't need to be like, well, I got to sit down and it got to be perfect. I have the perfect pen and I got to have, my perfect book and I got to have everything down and the kids need to be put away. No. You're going to pause this freaking thing. If you need to pull over if you're listening to me on the podcast, pull over onto the side of the road, stop right now and do it. You will not regret it. I guarantee it. The people that have listened to me, their lives have completely changed. Somebody took that advice from me and she went and started her own business. 1 month later, started her own business. Why? Because she went, when I said, do it now, she did it. She didn't wait. She did it. And now she has her own business. Is it crazy? No, it's not. It's just because she took movement over motivation. 2 kids at home, husband, full-time job. Nope. Pulled over to the side of the road. Did it right then. So if you're listening, put in your calendar right now. Right now. All right. Now we have it on our calendar. We have our actions. We have our outcome. We have our vision. We know how we're going to feel, what it's going to look like. This is a lot different than just saying, hey, what are my 3 goals? What's my 3 goals for this year? You have nothing attached to that, but we do now. Now what I want you to do, if you have social media, I want you to post your goals. I want you to go tell people what your outcome is. In 2021, I shouldn't use the job one. That's probably a bad idea. Don't post on social media. I'm going to find a new job. Your employer's probably not going to like that. But post something or tell something if you don't have social media. Get some public accountability. When all of a sudden you step out into the spotlight, pressure's on. This is going to help with your discipline because now other people know. Not just you. You're not keeping a secret. I want you to tell every single person that you possibly talk to. 3 years ago, I had the theme of being a better man. I told every single person, yep, my theme's being a better man. Oh, hello to you too, sir. What do you want to order here? Right? I didn't care who it was. Hey, you. I'm going to let you know I'm going to be a better man this year. And sure enough, with the right vision, the outcome, right, how I was going to show up, the actions that I put down, guess what? It's weird. I became a better man, right? So I want you to now tell somebody. I want you to pause this. I want you to call somebody. I want you to post it on social media. I want you to write to somebody. I want you to do a video and post it onto social media. Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, doesn't matter. Call somebody that you know is going to hold you accountable. Okay? Not somebody that's going to judge you. Know the difference, right? You want somebody that's in your corner that's going to say, hey, I'm just reminding you, you said you were going to be a better man. You said you're going to get a different job. I believe in you. I think you should do it. That's the person you want, not the person that's going to hit you over the head. See, I told you weren't going to do it. What happened to getting a new job? You don't want that person. That person's out. Okay? Now you have all the pieces. And the last part is to get a coach. Get a coach. You want to achieve? You want to get to levels you never thought possible? Get a coach. I have spent over $15,000 in less than a year on coaches. Best decision I've ever made in my life. When you have a coach, they will help you to get over the big mountains quicker. Why? Because they've already done it. They've lived it. You could struggle and fall down, or you can hire a coach. And that could be anything. You can hire a business coach. You can hire a life coach. You can hire a fitness coach. You can hire a therapist, okay? If your emotions are all out of whack, anxiety, depression, like we were talking about earlier, hire a therapist, you guys. I've had a therapist for the last 10 years of my life. One of the best decisions. We all need help. And when you get a coach, they will get you there faster. You will all of a sudden be living your vision so much quicker. That's it. That's it, you guys. If you're interested in having a coach, guess what? That's what I do. That's what I do. I run a program. It's called the 12-week Ikon. What we focus on is mindset, nutrition, and movement. We get your mind right, because if you don't have your mindset, everything else will fall its way. This is not a 20-day challenge. This is being able to change the roots of your life to make sure that you eat the same way for the rest of your life, that you change that negative outlook that you have on yourself, that all of a sudden you believe that anything is possible. That's what we create in the 12-week Ikon. A very clear, precise vision of the life you will live and not the life you have to live. We tie in with nutrition, fitness, and lifestyle techniques that will get you to a place of feeling incredible. If you don't believe me, head on over and check out the testimonials. They'll tell you. All right, you guys, that was a little bit longer. Now it's time to go get her done. You have everything. If you're joining right now and you missed a lot of the other stuff, go back. Trust me. I put my life that if you follow these steps, you will completely change 2021. You will step into the batter's box. You will swing away. And will you miss the ball? Yes, you will. But you're going to hit some singles, some doubles, some triples, and then you're going to hit a freaking home run. And you're going to be living a whole different life. You're not going to allow what's happening around you to affect what's going on. You will rise above it. Make sure to head back. Make sure to take time. Make sure to pause and go through each one of those steps that I just got done telling you about. You are not going to regret it. I promise. If you have questions, if you need help, reach out to me. Joel@iconfitness.com. On Instagram, Joel_Cochran_ to reach out to me. Send me a message there, or head to my website, www.iconfitness.com. I'm here to help you. This is my passion. This is what I love to do. I help individuals live a happier life in a healthier body. It is my passion. It's what God put me on this earth to do, and I would love to be able to help you. All right, that's it, you guys. Next week, we're going to be rolling in to episode 16. I got something real special for you. I don't want to ruin it right now. And we have a whole new line and list of different guests that I'm going to be having on the show. It's going to be an awesome, awesome year. I hope that everybody goes out, or doesn't go out, you know, pandemic and all. I hope everyone has a wonderful New Year's Eve. if you have the time, right, movement over motivation, sit down, rewatch this, go through this, and you will have your goals set for 2021 rock solid. Rock solid. All right, you guys, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, well, next time will be 2021. So have a wonderful year, and I'll see you guys in 2020.